Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. On March 17th, 2025, the defendant filed its response and objection to the state's motion in Limine regarding immediate family members in the courtroom, and this is during the upcoming trial of this matter. It says here that Mr. Kohberger, by and through his attorneys of record, responds to and objects to the state's motion. Specifically, the state asked the court, according to Mr. Kohberger, for guidance on which family members are allowed in the courtroom for the entirety of the upcoming trial this summer. Then goes on to say that Mr. Kohberger, continuing on to page 2, objects to this request on the basis that, according to him, ladies and gentlemen, it's too narrow in scope, and asks that the court's guidance should be broadened, according to Mr. Kohberger, to address related topics discussed below. Now, what topics are these? He says here, first, the individuals identified by the state as family members of the victims include mothers, fathers, a stepmother, a stepfather, brother, sister, a stepsister, and grandmothers, and citing to the state's sealed Exhibit S, as in Sam 1. Then, Mr. Kohberger says, acknowledging that the term immediate families is undefined in the cited statute, the state's motion asked the court for guidance of what, quote, immediate families means. Then he says, Idaho case law has looked to Idaho statutes and Black Law Dictionary. This is a dictionary that's used commonly in court proceedings when it's needed, ladies and gentlemen, as an additional resource to case law, to statutes, and other things, to determine an immediate family member is and what it is. As noted in a cited case called State versus McNeil, this is a ruling from the Idaho courts from 2014. The Idaho Code defines, quote, immediate family is at least 4 places. And then he goes on to say whether stepfather, stepmother, stepsister, or grandmother are included within that definition of immediate family is less clear. And for the purpose of giving victim impact statements, relatives related by marriage, such as in-laws, are immediate family members, citing to State versus Payne. But what this motion is dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, again, is during the case in chief, the quote-unquote guilt phase, not the penalty phase. So going on to the next page. Second, Mr. Kohberger respectfully requests that the court provide some guidance to outline proper courtroom decorum, which encourages spectators from wearing T-shirts, i.e. T-shirts with a picture of the victim on them and the words in memory of, or T-shirts about executing Mr. Kohberger, or about the passage of Idaho's firing squad legislation. And Mr. Kohberger then cites to, in court proceedings in Latah County, a family member of one of the victims wore a T-shirt to court related to the passage of Idaho's firing squad legislation, and cites to it looks like a news article. This must not be allowed in any future court proceedings, according to Mr. Kohberger. Then he goes on to also assert that he would like to have his family members also in the court and request the court's guidance regarding the same. His immediate family members consist of his mother, his father, and his 2 sisters. Mr. Kohberger's Sixth Amendment right to a public trial would be violated if his family is excluded, he says here. So we will now wait to see what the state of Idaho's reply to this response will be, which is due on March 24th, 2025. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. Thank you for joining us here today.